Hello and welcome. I'm Trip. Welcome back to another K24 FRS build video. This is actually the finale of that series since it's called done. It's not done, but the big meat and potatoes is done. Engine's in, it's functional. I've been driving around the past week and a half or so, and she's been great. Haven't had any major issues out of her. Just putting some miles on her and doing some little tweaks here and there. But for the most part, she's been pretty solid. And it's also nice to be outside for once. I'm not cramped in that little garage trying to film things, and it looks like the same scene over and over and over again in my videos. So now you actually see the whole car now. It's not a show car by any means, you know, it's definitely a little dirty. Well, I just washed her and she's still dirty, you know, full of rock chips and scrapes, and because, you know, I do track her and I did daily haul for a long time. But she's mostly in good shape, good body on her. And I just literally washed it and it's already getting covered in tree pollen. Not even springtime yet, and it's already shitting over the car. You might notice a few differences since the last time we saw her. Obviously, I painted the valve cover, make her pop a little bit more, let it stand out. I added a breather down here and I made these two lines. I have it going down to it, so I made those last night. Was it last night? I don't know. So I've put roughly 120 miles-ish on her, and you know, just kind of cruising around, just driving to work here and there, or out to eat, and she's been good. I mean, the only real issue I've had out of it, I think since these engines do vibrate, and this swap has definitely have vibration issues, so it's a little shaky, and it ended up shaking one of these loose, so my battery came undone, and this was touching my positive terminal one time and made the car start running funny. But luckily it was an easy fix, which is why I have double nutted on those. You definitely have to check torques on these things because it's so vibraty. The inside's still pretty stock-ish. You know, driving it feels like you're just driving a normal 86, really. Everything works like normal. The only thing it doesn't have that this car used to have is AC and cruise control. Other than that, everything still works like factory. But this engine feels so much better than the old FA20. It's so much peppy. It utilizes this power band so much better. It feels good to just wind her out, especially when it gets up in VTEC. It just screams. Like, the best thing I can describe this car is it's a lot more rowdy. But whenever I'm just cruising around driving normal, she's still nice to drive. I can still daily drive her, no issue. And like I said, I've been driving her a few times to work, and yeah, didn't have any issues out of it, except for it is technically a race car, so it is a little bumpy and has very stiff suspension, so it's not the most comfortable car to drive in, but still gets the job done. And a big reason that these do have a kind of a vibration issue is once you take the factory K24 oil pump out, those have balance shafts in them to kind of balance that engine. But since we take them out and put the Type S pump, it doesn't have those balance shafts. So this engine is just going to be not as smooth as it would be a stock one, I guess. And also, a few people think that the one-piece drive shaft isn't helping as well. That causes a little bit of vibration, and also the stiffer transmount and stuff like that also adds to it. So there's a bunch of little things that adds to that little vibration. But it's not unbearable, you can still drive it. Just not as comfortable as a normal stock one would be. Also, some people have had issues where the fuel gauge light isn't accurate. I think they'll get down to a 1/4 inch of fuel and just kind of stay though. And people run out of gas because they think they have a 1/4 of fuel still left in it, but it's not reading right. I haven't tested it out yet on mine. I really don't want to see if mine had that issue. So if you're doing a swap, it's something to keep in mind and look out for. Don't run out of gas. Okay, what else can we talk about? I did have to clearance my hood a little bit. See this circle? Because it was touching right here. It was just touching a little bit. So I probably took out more than I really had to. Probably could have got away just shaving it down a little bit. And mine was also touching here on a clamp on my louvel. So I shaved this down just a little bit to make a little bit more clearance. So just little things that need to be tweaked here and there. Nothing too bad, but sitting here looks like it was meant to be. Just super clean. Everything's tied up. I don't have wire just running all over the place. My ground power wires look clean and out of the way. Thanks to RunHard for those. Did an awesome job. Have had 0 issues out of that system. So even though the swap is done, the car is far from done. Still little things here and there I want to do to it, because this year's track season is coming up fast. I actually have I'm doing my first shakedown this coming up weekend at NCM with binge track days. So I'm going to do a day of them and give a good shakedown at NCM, kind of see where she compares to the old engine. See if my lap times improve. They better improve. I mean, really upset if I get slower. Some things on the do list. I got brand new brakes. I got some counter space garage brake pads I need to throw on. I got new tires, which I just had them mounted today. So those will be my track tires. And I also got a track box, so I can use a switch to turn on my pedal dance and all that stuff, to make things a little easier. Another thing, a big thing that I wanted to do before my first track event, which I don't think I'm gonna have time because I still need to order parts, is I wanted to run E85 on it. So I still need to buy injectors and a fuel pump and a flex fuel kit, and you can get one of those. So that stuff is something I plan on doing. I'm not sure yet when I'm gonna have time yet. Hopefully I don't wait too far in the season to do that, because that extra little power will be handy. I'm sure you're tired of me running my mouth, so let's go for a drive. Okay, I'm back. The call did not skip a beat. It did good. Doesn't sound half bad. But that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more content from this call, follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. So later, like I said earlier, later this week, next weekend I mean, I'm going to do a shakedown of this at NCM. So come back for that. I'm sure I have a video up then, or after the event of course. But before I go, I gotta give a thanks to everybody who's watched and subscribed and liked and commented on the videos, and a special thanks to PhD Racing for help supply the parts, and RunHard Industries for the charging kit. Yeah, thanks for those guys. This wouldn't have been possible without them. It's always good to have partners. And please come back for the next video. And peace out. Good job. You did a good job. You built that car all by yourself, didn't you?